February is also known as the month of love, so I'm going to create or bake some red velvet cream cheese brownies. Here I'm cutting up the chocolate bar, or should I say the baker's semi sweet chocolate. It's 4 ounces of it, and I'll get it ready to go into the microwave with some melted butter. Make sure when you're putting your butter in the microwave that you don't burn it. Cut up the pieces of the butter and make sure the butter is at room temperature, and put it in there for 30-second intervals. And if you can, adjust your microwave to half power. Once everything's totally melted, give it a stir to make sure all of the chocolate and the butter are fully melted. And again, remember not to burn your chocolate. And I added, looks like 1 cup of sugar there, but that bowl isn't big enough, so I'm going to transfer it over to a bigger bowl so that I can continue to mix and continue to add other ingredients. I don't know why I didn't do that in the beginning, but no worries. I got everything over into a bigger bowl so that I can stir it. And once I get the butter, chocolate, and sugar all mixed together, I'll add in some eggs and the flavoring and some food coloring. But as so here I'm going to add in the eggs that's needed to be mixed in there. So I'm making sure the eggs are completely mixed, fully incorporated into the chocolate, the sugar, and everything. Then I'll move on to what else is needed. But yeah, these brownies were made for my coworkers. I usually work from home, but because Valentine's Day was coming and I wasn't going to be in office, I wanted to give my team members some treats for them to enjoy for a special day of love. So here I'm sifting the cake flour. The recipe calls for all-purpose flour, but I had Swan's down cake flour on hand, and I added in a tablespoon of cocoa powder to go right along with the brownie recipe. And I'm going to put that over into the bowl and get that fully mixed, and then I'll move on to the next step. Um, and again, these are just some things that I wanted to include for a special occasion. This is not something that I would do regularly. And again, they're gifts for my team members. So yeah, I'm mixing that flour and that cocoa powder into that, and then I'll move on to the next step, which will be to mix up the cream cheese mixture. Once I'm done with this, I'll set it over to the side and move on to the cream cheese that's going to be marbleized into the brownie mixture. So yeah, February 10th was National Cream Cheese Brownie Day. So that's when I was like, okay, I need to do something in honor of that day, since I am trying to, build up my baking skills and get practice in from time to time. And I really, again, I enjoy baking, so I wanted to create this recipe and get it out so that people can try it out for the cheesecake brownie day. Once I put some egg whites in there with the cream cheese and the sugar, and also some vanilla. Once all of that is fully mixed, that will again be the addition to the brownie mixture. That'll be marbleized. We'll get all of that taken care of in a few moments. But yeah, that's about all that I have to say about this recipe. Once we move on to the next step, then that'll be that on that. And let's see. It looks like I'm mixing about 2 tablespoons of flour in there. I'm mixing it because I didn't want to over mix it. So I'm just using a regular tablespoon. And I put the whisk away. And now I'm about to put everything into these greased mini loaf pans. And that's how we'll get them baked in the oven. I believe I had to bake them in batches. This went up, I think this pan that I had, the baking sheet held about 8 of them. And then I put the last 4 in. Had to again put them in batches because I didn't want to just put the baking pans in there by themselves without anything at the bottom, because it would be hard to try to get each one of those little pans out of the oven one at a time. So I've added the cream cheese mixture and now getting ready to put everything in the oven. I'm just showing you how everything was mixed up. Excuse me. That's how I put everything in the pan. Basically, I believe it was like 3 of those tablespoons of that mixture. Spread it out. And then I added the cream cheese mixture into there. And I used a couple of toothpicks to mix it all up so that so that the brownies could get that marbleized look once they came out of the oven. So, one more time, toothpick, mixing up the cream cheese mixture for everything to go into the oven. So, yeah, again, the crumb on these was very tender, and they were really, really moist. Everything was really moist. And at the end, once they were done baking, I added some peppermint buttercream that I had colored red and white in honor of the Valentine's Day theme. And I baked these for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. And once they're done, I let them cool for, I would say, about 30 minutes. And then I put the buttercream on top of them. I added a Ghirardelli chocolate on top of that. That's everything that I put in there. That's them before they're going in the oven. That's them out of the oven. And here they are decorated. Thank you for watching. And consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks.